femur. Yes, he does. Has a broken femur. That's what we're singing one day.
You know, Matt always jumps off the chair at the beginning of our panel.
He does.
And this year we were quite worried because it's a slippery stage. It's extra slippery. So I was like, Matt, maybe don't go for it quite as big. And he's like, Robbie, people in New Orleans deserve a big jump.
That's right, baby.
Go for it.
So we're about to deliver a mediocre jump to you guys. Big jump.
We all said chair gates.
He literally said, be careful, bad, slippery. He gave words of warning. He meant to miss it. June 6, 1944. Eisenhower gave the go-ahead. Sure, the chairs are slippery on the decks of the ships. Did they stop? No, sir. No, sir, they sailed forward. Brave men. Liberating Europe, Bravo! Liberating Europe. What if Sergeant Benedict had said, fellas.
And I said, Matt, we're not at war.
And he said, we are now, mofo.
And stage manager Liz, God bless her, put tape on the bottom of this chair so it wouldn't slip. I mean, we had a lot of work went into that jump. I'm just so glad we survived it. Jump gate.
Like I said, I'm a hero and a warrior, and you're welcome. Matt Cohen is Precious Carter.
Thanks for your service, man.
I like it. Liz made sure this didn't slip for Matt Cohen. And they were like, oh, actually, Rich is doing the jump. She's like, oh, start shaking the tape off. So he's like sawing one of the legs slightly.
I said, I was like, Liz rigged a chair, especially. You're like, are you doing a bit? You joking right now?
I thought you were yanking my chain. The old Liz fixed the chair bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's hard to hear on the stage.
Well, anyway, this is Richard. You know that because we've been on stage for a day and a half, and I'm Rob. But you haven't seen this guy much. This is Matt Cohen.
Well, some of them saw me last night at karaoke. Who was at karaoke? That was a really good time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And well worth the headache I have right now. Hey, Bazook, inquiring minds want to know, did you get up and go to the gym this morning? That's it. Yes. But I had to, because chair jumps like that don't come to men that don't work for them, you know? I noticed. I've been waiting for a chair jump for years. It's never arrived. Oh, and there's our stage manager, Liz. Everybody. DJ Liz! Wait a minute, that's DJ Liz?
DJ Liz.
Out of her costume. Well, we should take questions because that's part of the title of the panel.
Sure.
Q&A.
He said it that time.
We can't give an A if we don't get a Q, so let's do that. Go ahead, Robert. Well, we can give a little A.
Good morning. My question is for Rob, and I've been wanting to ask this for a while. Chuck, when he first appeared, was a very lovable, lovable loser sort of guy.
I would never put it that way myself.
No, that's coincidentally so is Rob.
Lovable loser, though. Yeah, so I loved his character, and he was just this little sweetheart. And then with the big God reveal, of course, the character of God is cool too. But I have trouble reconciling the two, because now when I go back and see Chuck, it just seems like he's just another manipulative leading the guys on and lying to them.
Matt and I are going to go get a sandwich. See you guys.
It makes sense, because now when I see Chuck, it's like, you jerk.
Meaning, why did he say at the time, like, oh God?
Or just stay out of it,
Well, here's the thing, I mean,
how do you reconcile? I wonder if God was like in Chuck's subconscious, it would have been different, but apparently he was aware of it all along.
Yeah, well, it's, I mean, look.
I love you anyway, but...
No, thank you for your comment. God, as Chuck at that time, for whatever reason, he chose to let the boys discover. They needed to discover on their own what was going on. Maybe he didn't have it in his plan yet to reveal himself. I think we find out in season 11 that God has been here all along, and I think that's kind of the point. Is that it's not his job to step in and go, this is how you do it. And so he needs people in general to define their own way.
That's a good answer.
Thank you, sir.
We can just throw question. So Rob, you're a loser. And you played a real shit pile character. I have a question. Why and why bother and why not quit?
I love you and thank you for the question. That was a great question. Thank you. I love that you guys were, I mean, as my friends, we're having such a great time. Like, oh shit. You know what? Hide the knives.
I'm back there literally putting Nerf balls on all the forks.
Liz, we're gonna need a shot and getting vitamin C.
Need a vitamin shot. Make that juice here, boys. Anyway, you survived, Robert. Well done.
We did well.
You.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I was at karaoke last night, and I was wondering what y'all's favorite songs to sing are at karaoke nights.
My favorite song to sing karaoke night?
All of them.
My favorite song to sing karaoke night is to not sing at karaoke night. Which is why I started the karaoke party with Matt Cohen, because neither of us wanted to sing. So we thought, if we put on goofy outfits and have other people put on goofy outfits, they'll want to get on stage and sing, and we won't have to do a damn thing but hand them a mic. Mission accomplished. However, Rob Benedict, who's an actual singer in an actual band, has a couple of go-to karaoke songs.
Well, this isn't even one of my go-tos. It's a song that's always sung at karaoke. My favorite is Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's the ultimate karaoke song. And no matter what, no matter how well I sing it, which I don't sing it very well, because especially the gotta moosh part, I don't know, I can't get the timing of that right. I'm never going to sing it as well as Freddie Mercury. So I think it's the ultimate karaoke song, because you're always striving to be better than, but you never can be better than. So I think that would be my.
But now,
but my go-to is Jesse's Girl. I really love Jesse's Girl. That's always been my go-to.
My Sharona.
My Sharona. I really love My Sharona.
And we did a thing last night that was a real kind of gag. They didn't have, DJ Liz didn't have Jesse's Girl. And Rob wasn't really planning on singing, but I was like, you do a number. You know, people love David S. Pumpkins. You're a cult hero. So he said, okay. He didn't have the song, and I said, all right, Rob, we're just going to go over there and pick a song for you and have you just randomly do it. And so we did One at Dead or Alive. Yeah. And dude, you killed it. You did, like, that was great. You did a good job. It would have been fun to watch you fail, but no, sir. I can't stump the lead singer of a band. It's not going to happen.
Not with that suit on, especially.
No,
there's no failing when you show up.
It's all just the suit, man.
That was great. Matt, do you have, in another life, do you actually do karaoke, like at secret locations around the valley?
No, never.
What's your favorite karaoke song to do?
I don't really have one. I like Don't Stop Believing.
Don't Stop Believing. That's a solid anthem.
My favorite was the time that Richard was like, this next song, no, ominous message from Journey, Stop Believing. Oh no, sorry, Don't Stop Believing. It's my favorite Richard's fake bits at karaoke.
I remember doing that. You laughed your face off, as did 4 other people, to be honest. Most of our jokes are really for us, and occasionally the blast radius is for one person and they get the joke. Thank you. You.
Hello.
Hey.
Rich and Matt, as much as I adore you, my question is for Rob.
That's okay, we're all 3 here.
Thank you.
That's why we brought it.
How was it like working on documentary now?
Oh man, it's a dream come true.
Freaking hilarious.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Those 2 guys are just like 2 of my favorite comedic actors. Fred Armisen is, I think, just such a genius. And I just had just a great time. And it was one of those jobs too where they're like, you know, they kind of asked me if I wanted to do it, but they're like, you know, the character is not, he's like the documentarian, so he's not like the main focus of the whole episode. So I'm like, you had me at like Fred Armisen, like I'm in, you know. So yeah, no, and I even like I was there watching them work even when I wasn't supposed to be there, because it just was such a treat to watch them improv. So yeah, documentary now. If you haven't seen it, it's on IFC. You can stream it or whatever.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's on the Netflix.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
You.
My question is for Rich. I am a big history buff, so even before I was a fan of Supernatural, I love Band of Brothers.
Very cool.
So I want to know, how did working on a project like that with HBO and people like Spielberg and Tom Hanks, how did that help shape your life and your career?
Interesting question. I'm a huge fan of that experience. Band of Brothers was a monumental deal for me because I was a struggling actor. It was my first big job, but then, of course, that ended up being bigger than just a job because you're playing real people who fought in a real war, and in my case, lost their lives doing it, and in every case, lost their friends or family members in the process. So it was a very intense experience. I'm super close with the actors still. These guys have met a bunch of them because if we're in a town and they're shooting something in a town, they'll come backstage, hang out with us. Michael Cutlitz used to do karaoke with us before he was on Walking Dead. He'd come just hang out. In Vancouver, we had Ron Livingston and Rick Gomez hanging out. I mean, it's just an incredibly close-knit group of guys, including the British fellas, because we bonded over this show that was not ego-driven, it was honesty-driven. And Tom Hanks said early on in the process, when we all got hired and we're in our mess hall about to start boot camp, he said, we're not making a war movie, we're filming a war. You worry about what you're supposed to do with your squad, when you're supposed to do it, and we'll worry about how to capture it and put it on film. Which means, unlike most TV shows, we didn't really know where the cameras were. We didn't know when the camera would be on us. We had rehearsed battles and then go shoot battles. Interesting piece of Band of Brothers trivia that I don't think Rob even knew till recently. But we trained the American soldiers, actors playing American soldiers, did a boot camp. There was a separate boot camp for the men playing the Germans. And we never met them. We never saw them. So they would practice, and almost all the people you see playing Germans or the other people in Easy Company who aren't speaking actors were ex-military. So they were the real deal and knew what they were doing. So those guys trained somewhere else doing something else. And so when we would run a battle sequence, we had never run it with the Germans until we shot it. So we would run up on a hill, flop down, and I'd load up your M1 and start popping off rounds. And they had rehearsed their moves through the woods or whatever, and they knew when they were supposed to fall. They would just take a shot and drop. And if you happened to be aiming your M1 that was firing blanks at a German who knew he was going to drop at that tree line, and you fired and he dropped, it was weird. There was a lot of moments making that series that did not feel like you were making television, and I think that's what made it great television. What I think really made that show work was the involvement with the veterans. HBO, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg took that very seriously. They involved the veterans. The veterans were interviewed way before they put pen to paper to write the scripts. They interviewed the men who fought the battles. They had Stephen Ambrose's books as source material. They interviewed them on film to use in the series. They flew them over to London when we were shooting. We had access to either our veteran or our veterans' close friends, and would call them and read them scenes, and they would say, this happened or this didn't happen. Remember Lipton, who was played by Donnie Wahlberg, took himself out of a night march because he talked to Lipton, and Lipton said, I didn't go on that night march. So he'd show up on set and go, I'm not in this scene, I'm going home. And Spielberg and Hanks had basically told the directors, listen to the guys, they're doing their research, they're doing their homework, they know what's going on. So if they say that, the answer is okay. Because no actor ever takes himself out of a scene. Everybody wants to be on camera, so if you're doing that, you're doing it for the right reasons.
I like that's that time that you changed your line.
I talked to, so I had a lot of conversations with Don Malarkey, who, I must say, just 2 weeks ago passed away. A true loss. I love that man. He was the veteran with whom I was the closest. He was Skip Rock's best friend in real life, and just a saint of a guy. So it's a real loss to have him pass, but he was the man I would talk to the most. And he, in the script it said Skip Buck was from Florida. He made some line about being from Florida. And I talked to Malarkey, and he's like, he's not from Florida, he's from Tonawanda, New York. He's from upstate New York. And I go, oh, okay. So I go on set, and Tom Hanks is directing that episode, and I said, it's still very intimidating to talk to Tom Hanks. It's like stopping Santa Claus and be like, excuse me, the mythical figure of my life is now standing in front of me. And I'm like, Mr. Hanks, Mr. Hanks. I talked to Don Malarkey, and Mark isn't from Florida, he's from Tonawanda, New York. So can I say that instead? He's like, yeah, sure, that's what he's from, say it. He sounded a lot like David S. Pumpkin, as a matter of fact. He said, yeah, you can. And so now, if you watch episode 5 of that series, and Malarkey comes in the movie theater and he says, where have you been? I say, I wasn't home in Tonawanda, but now Hitler started this whole thing and now I'm here. That's a line I made up based on wanting to say where Buck was really from. It was that kind of thing. Sitting in the foxhole, talking about swimming the Niagara River, was a true story that was sent to me in a letter from Skip Buck's sister. Sent me a letter talking about swimming the Niagara River. And I went to the director, David Frankel. I said, this is a great story. And he said, let's shoot it. Put you in a foxhole, sit next to Luz and Pincala. Just tell the story like it was in the letter. And that's what I did. It's a true story. The girlfriend I mentioned was his girlfriend. The event happened as it happened. And last thing I'll say, interesting piece of Hollywood trivia. So Skip Buck swims the Niagara River before he goes to fight the war, which is a very, very, very fast river and a dangerous river because obviously it leads to Niagara Falls. So if you get tired, you die. But he was a young hellion and wanted to prove his strength, so he's going to swim across the Niagara River. His friends thought he was crazy, so one of his buddies was going to paddle alongside him in the boat to be sure if anything went wrong, he'd have a safety net. He'd be able to jump in the boat. So Skip Buck swims the Niagara River, and the guy in the boat paddling alongside him is Fritz Nyland. And Fritz Nyland may not mean anything to you, except for Hollywood made a movie about Fritz Nyland, and they changed his last name to Ryan, and he's the Private Ryan that got pulled out of the war.
Crazy.
He was the brother that lived. The 5 Ryan brothers. And there's a monument to that event from the spot of the river where they've shoved off. There's a monument in Tonawanda, New York. I actually spoke at the dedication of the monument a few years ago. They built a monument to Skip Buck, to Fritz Nyland and his 4 brothers who died in the war, and all other soldiers of wars past and present and future. But I think it's a fascinating little piece of Hollywood trivia that 2 significant events cinematically, Band of Brothers and Private Ryan, both have central characters that come from this tiny little town in Tonawanda, New York, who knew each other. Crazy world. Anyway, thank you for watching the series, man. Everybody enjoy it. You.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, exactly. My question is, what is your favorite beer to drink?
Well, I'll go first. Just kidding.
Well, you were kidding?
Yours was coming out. Go, what is it?
Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada.
Sure, look. I think mine is Ballast Point, which is a beer out of San Diego. The Ballast Point Grapefruits Open. They're my favorite beers. Yeah.
I'm a fan of this Eel River IPA. Have you heard of it? It's organic, so... You don't drink IPAs? You don't like the taste of fresh cut grass?
I used to not, but now that's all I can drink.
Rob turned us all, didn't he turn you into 100%? Rob turned us all into
I was
IPA
drinking
drinkers.
IPA. I was
Yeah, I
like,
know.
this tastes like grass. Like hay and grass had a baby with Brussels sprouts.
That's right.
Right in there. And now I love it, partially because most IPAs are 7 or 8% alcohol, and that is fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think my other favorite beer, by the way, is Terminal Gravity, which I tell you guys about a lot, but they don't sell it outside of Oregon. It's hard to find outside of Oregon.
Right.
But this is beer that's made in Enterprise, Oregon, called Terminal Gravity, and I love that so much. It's the bummer you can't get it outside.
Wait, I have another one too. Brother Thelonious. You guys ever heard of Brother Thelonious? It's like 14% alcohol.
Jesus.
By the way, Matt, you're slowly getting the moonshine. Just so you know. You don't know the
What do you should say? It's my 3rd favorite.
I like rubbing alcohol.
Yes.
There's a beer called Everclear. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
By the way, she asked a question, but suddenly we all have answers. You're like, oh, I can only say one?
You know, I laughed at when you said Ballast Point. Maybe because after the Band of Brothers story, it's like, you're such a great orator. You're like, it's called Ballast Point. Funny story about Ballast Point. I imagine there's going to be a whole story about, it's grapefruit flavor. Story about the grapefruit. Did you know grapefruit?
You.
Hi,
for cons, you guys go to like really cool places. Like right now in New Orleans, and do you have any memorable experience like during like breaks and cons, and you just go out and have fun?
Well, every time we have a convention in Europe, it's just amazing. In particular, Rome. We really love going to Rome because it's Rome, and it's fun there too because we always love when we get to stay in the city we're in. Like, this is amazing. New Orleans, we're actually in the French Quarter, which is amazing. And some others, Vancouver, Toronto, yeah, we stay in the city. Sometimes with Chicago, we actually stay out by the airport, which is like an hour from downtown, so you don't get to see the city as much. But when we go to Rome, we actually stay in Rome. We're all on the same schedule, so that's the thing. It's like, we're all buddies. But the three of us always have the same schedule, which is why we're very close. But like Jensen and Jared, they don't come in until Saturday night or whatever. So, but in Rome, we're all there together. We have the same schedule. So, you go to dinner and you're walking back to the hotel and you walk past the Coliseum and you're like, what the hell? It's amazing. So
this is a true piece of Hollywood, Rome trivia. And Rob, you will not. There's no way you'll deny this. I do not understand this, and maybe there's a twinge of jealousy. I don't know.
Just a touch.
But for whatever reason, one thing that happens every year at the RomeCon is Jensen Ackles takes pictures, glorious photos of Rob in front of all the monuments, and then brings it back to the hotel. Like, that's right. Look at that. The Robbo. Damn. Oh, there. Have you found Robin? Goddamn good photo. Oh, we just saw this tunnel. We just stepped in there, took this picture. Good photo. I'm like, yeah, they're great shots, Jensen. Hold on. Come on.
He's like the tourist in front of me. He's all like,
But they're all like, instead of Rob being goofy, he's like, Rob, like, it's European Rob. Here's something else to know about Rob. Rob's neurotic in real life. He's admittedly neurotic. European Rob is not neurotic.
Oh, it's a different Robbie.
European Rob is very, very relaxed, very calm, very in control. It like kind of breaks hearts, and men want to be him, women want to sleep with him. It's a crazy deal. And it happens like the second he gets to customs, like I'm just visiting your country and can't wait to hang out and have some food. See the sights. Thank you. Hey guys.
I even dress different, I think.
Yeah, he's scarfed a lot and beheaded. There are a lot of hats and scarves, and a lot of Ackles going like, feels good, hold on.
The thing about that is that Jensen is amazing at everything. It's annoying how good he is, and it's his pictures are really what he's showing you. They're such great pictures. Look at this. That's what he does.
Good goddamn shot bubble. Real pretty shot bubble.
My favorite Jensen story.
Spade, you want me to send you these? No, I'm good, thanks, man.
I've actually moved on.
I got the first 40. Literally, you could go through Ackles' phone in Rome like that fast, and it'd be like Rob going.
it's like a claymation Robbie. Ladies and gentlemen, a talent we never knew Richard Spade had. Slow motion shaking
Live animation.
Well, nothing drives my comedy and creativity more than unbridled anger.
Towards Rob.
Well, listen, I tell you, I think they've been shipping the wrong characters for a lot of years. I think it's got to be Dodd.
Duck.
Or Keen, whatever.
Machine. I was gonna say my favorite Jensen thing is he's just amazing at everything. Like when he was like the keyboard was set up in the last convention in Toronto, and he just gets back there during his panel and just starts like playing an amazing but. And then but I was on set doing season 11, and this guy came to the set to measure his ears for these things. He was gonna get an ear monitor. And Shepard gave him this gift, and he had this guy, this ear doctor come, and you have to measure it for these because they fit exactly into your ear. And so the guy's like doing an ear checkup. We're in like our waiting room before we go to set, and So the guy's looking at his ear, and the guy's like, oh my God. It's the most amazing ear canal I've ever seen. It's perfect. This is perfect. The guy had to take a knee, I can see it. I went to it. Jesse was like, is it? Pretty good. You like it? Brother, even his ear canal is perfect.